Hi there. These comments are for FW. This is Michael from BetterTOEFLScores.com, and you completed an integrated speaking practice test for Friday, October 15th. And today, believe it or not, this is my wife. This is our anniversary. We've been married for 27 years, and we're celebrating our anniversary for today. Okay, let's take a look at the email that you sent me first. You said, Michael, please listen to evaluate score, provide feedback on my integrated speaking practice test 3. This is TPO 22 Task 4 Academic. You say, I'm working on intonation, but it seems very difficult. Could you please point out the places where I make monotone sounds and weird pauses? Thank you very much. Yes, I will do that. And remember that improving your pronunciation there's a lot of things involved, but the bottom line is this. Do everything you can to increase your exposure to English. That means a lot of listening, a lot of speaking, a lot of TV, movies. Really get as much exposure to the language as you can, and that will help you with your pronunciation in the long run. Okay? Okay, here we go.
The lecture is talking about 2 physical adaptations for on-ground animals. According to the professor, the first adaptation is to help animals move through the dirt efficiently.
This is good. I think your tone sounds pretty good. Your pacing is good.
For example,
and then say, for example, and kind of increase the tone a little bit more there. For example,
mole has wide, strong front feet with big claws like shovel. They can loosen up the dirt astonishingly quickly.
I would say instead of a big claws like shovel, just say with shovel-like claws. That's probably a more concise way to say that.
To help the mole move forward on ground.
To help the mole move forward underground.
The lecture tells it the second adaptation is to protect animals' vulnerable body parts like eyes. For example, the professor says a mole has tiny eyes.
So I would say the professor says, and you're saying the professor says that moles have tiny eyes
covered by a thin protective skin membrane with hairs.
Covered by thin protective membrane with hairs.
Which can protect the eyes from dirt particles.
Which can protect the eyes from dirt particles.
So the dirt particles just slide by but cannot get into the eyes as the mole is moving on ground.
Yeah, a little bit of trouble is the mole is moving underground, almost like you're saying on ground, but you're saying underground. So let me listen to it one more time. I'll give you a score.
The lecture is talking about 2 physical adaptations.
I would just say the lecture discusses 2 or talks about 2 physical adaptations. So I think the simple present works better than the present progressive tense here.
For on-ground animals. According to the professor, the first adaptation is to help animals move through the dirt efficiently. For example, a mole has wide, strong front feet with big.
It has wide, strong front feet.
Claws like shovel.
With shovel-like claws.
They can loosen up the dirt astonishingly quickly. To help the mole move forward on ground.
Underground, not on ground. It's underground.
As the lecture tells it, the second adaptation is.
I wouldn't say tell it. I would just say, and the lecture discusses or explains another adaptation that moles make.
To protect animals' vulnerable body parts like eyes. For example, the professor says a mole has tiny eyes covered by a thin protective skin membrane with hairs, which can protect the eye.
Covered by thin protective membrane with hairs.
From dirt particles. So the dirt particles just slide by but cannot get into the eyes as the mole is moving on ground.
Yeah, again, as the mole's moving underground, not on the ground, but underground. So I think either you were confusing the word choice with on ground or underground, or you weren't clearly pronouncing underground the way you needed to there. So I think if you look at the rubrics here, I'm assuming that you have a complete and accurate response, so topic development's pretty good. I think you had some minor problems with language use. And I think that you're doing a lot better with the tone and the pacing. I'm going to put you on this one about 24 to 26 points out of 30 on this practice test.